Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Seattle Online Broadcasters Association February Meetup. I am your host, AlchemistJoker, and I am joined by the illustrious
TrollGamingLive.
Now, one thing I have to say, and we have to tell chat this.
Okay.
So we had this moment beforehand. We were making sure that everything was good in terms of how the stream was set up and everything. And there was a gesture that I did and that Troll did that caused a bit of an issue because we did this. See, and I did it again, and now I can't see you.
I can't see you.
Chad, I don't know if you've seen this gesture, but we don't know how to turn it back off. So if you can see us, we need you to sound off in chat that you can see us.
Say something in the chat, put an emote or something.
Yeah, throw an emote in, sound off, because I don't see him, and
he
doesn't see me.
Him neither.
So we did figure out while we were waiting to go live that if we do the gesture again.
Now I only see your eyebrows.
Oh, crap. Okay.
Do it harder. Okay, there you go.
Okay, now you gotta see. Now you're stripes. You gotta just twice.
Okay, fine.
Okay, there you go. You're back now.
Okay.
Gotta be careful.
We got
Listen,
it.
when you use magic potions to make yourself invisible, you have to be very careful.
See, my hero is John Cena, so I was trying to emulate him. I didn't understand how much power there is in. Hold on, let me not do it.
Don't do it with the gesture. with the wave, with the you can't see me, because if you do it again, then the camera's gonna be we don't need to do that.
Well, what's going on, y'all? Happy New Year! This is very first meetup of the year.
It is.
It's a very special day today, and my boy Alchemist is gonna get us started.
So this month's stream is going to be focused on Black History Month, as you can probably guess. We're in February. Twitch has a couple of different initiatives that they do. They have a Celebrating Black Brilliance panel on the front page that we're going to talk a little bit about. They have several different Unity guilds. They have one for Women's Guild. They have one for Latinx Guild. They have an LGBTQ. They have the Pride Guild, which is LGBTQIA+. And, of course, they have the Black Guild, which I was lucky enough to be able to be accepted as a member of.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate
welcome.
it. Troll has been a member of the guild for how long now?
I think I was part of the second batch, so very early on in the program, and we've grown. I think we're over 1,000 members.
I think it is.
It's actually an amazing place.
But we're also going to talk a little bit more about that, just the programs that Twitch kind of does to help celebrate not just Black creators, but all different types of kind of marginalized creators, because especially nowadays, it is important to find your tribe, and it's important to find that support system. So we're going to talk about the ways. It's a thing. We're going to talk about the different ways that they do that. But before we get to that, we do have one kind of special moment before that. We're going to do a community spotlight for a member of our community, and the person we're going to be spotlighting is RockAGoth, who is. People throw around the word invaluable a lot. And most times when someone says, oh, this person is invaluable, they're beneficial. But I genuinely can say that Rock has been invaluable for me just helping to get production going. So it's going to be fun to talk to Rock about how they view kind of working in production. Also about their own streams. They stream a lot of Tekken, so I know that you two have that in common. So I'm really looking forward to actually sitting down and getting to talk to Rock for a solid, I think we're going to do a solid full 25-minute talk with her, which is going to be a lot of fun.
For those of you that haven't watched us before, community spotlights, we basically take members of the community that, maybe you haven't heard of, and, just kind of do a sit down, just kind of talk to them about, maybe their content creation journey, maybe their gaming adventure, what brought them to SOBA. Some people, we've had people come from many states, to come join us over here. So RockAGoth's definitely somebody that you guys are all love. We actually had the pleasure of talking to her before, and she's kind of like my big sis here. And I rarely knew her then, and just now, just seeing how much work she puts in, and just how invaluable she is. She's always welcome in my tribe.
I don't think I could do the show without her help, because I'm pretty sure my hair would be on fire from second one, and I wouldn't get anything done. So sometimes it's part wrangler, sometimes it's part production assistant, sometimes it's part production manager. There are times where she's like, hey, you need to be on camera 2 minutes from now. So it's a very, very important thing. But if you are in the Seattle area and you have not come to a SOBA meetup, I don't know what you're waiting for. We meet up every other month at GameWorks in downtown Seattle, which if you've never been to GameWorks, coming to a Soba event just to check out GameWorks is something that is definitely worthwhile. The food is great, the drinks are good, and if you ever have been to an old school arcade, take that, multiply it by about 2.5, because that's how many floors there are. Add a bunch of alcohol and some pretty good food, and that's GameWorks. Yep. There's also an esports section of GameWorks where you can actually come in and play your favorite PC games.
There's a bunch of PC setups over there. If you want to be like me and crack out on Deadlock, you know, and rest in peace, Mike.
There is a arcade section with a couple of classic fighting games, one of which being Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is probably one of the greatest fighting games of all time. So it's a wonderful capsule of gaming because you have the old school stuff, you have some of the newer arcade games, you have newer arcade shooters, you have the taiko game where you beat the taiko drum.
Oh yeah, I need to play that.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I maybe shouldn't have played it before or the day after Arms Day because I had a blast. It was a bunch of fun. The next morning, I tried to get out of bed, and like Arm was just like, "I'm spaghetti today. I'm spaghetti. We're not working."
So I gotta ask you, since you know it's 2025,
it is
first meetup for the year. I guess, what would you say is your goal, maybe individually, for the year, and maybe you know for Soba?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so I'll do the goal for Soba first.
Okay.
Because that one is probably the easiest. I want to get Soba, like our meetups, back to where we're doing them every month. And I want to get back to where we're able to play games on stream as well as interviews. Because as much as I enjoy the talking with people, because that's my favorite thing, you get different versions of people when you put a controller in their hand or a keyboard in their hand, and I'm looking forward to kind of bringing that back. Also, we're going to be doing a lot more kind of themed meetups this year, so I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be talking about some of the future initiatives coming up a little bit later. You'll be talking with Aperios.
Yep.
So that's a thing to look forward to. As for my personal goals, okay. Well, this is going to be me telling a little bit of my personal life.
Okay.
But this past year, in December, I went to Sweden to visit my girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
And I proposed to her while I was there. So, thank you. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing is kind of figuring out how I will be able to move there with her. Because like right now, just because of work and school, it's difficult for us to spend a lot of time together. She did come to the States to visit last year for the first time. It was the first time ever visiting the States. She's coming again to visit later this year. She's going to be staying a whole month this time. And then I'm flying back with her, and I think I'm going to be spending at a minimum 3 weeks there. So this will be a long period of us like spending time together, which will be kind of nice. But my personal goal is to figure out a way to get back to Sweden. As far as personal goals that have to do with streaming, more than likely in March, I'm going to start streaming again on my personal channels. I'm probably going to be playing some Arena Breakout.
Yes.
Probably going to be playing some Marvel Rivals because that game seems like a lot of fun.
Yes.
But I'm doing all of this to be prepared for 2XKO because when 2XKO comes out,
that's going to be our life.
Going to know life that.
Yeah.
So those are my goals. But now I have to ask you.
Yeah.
Mr. Troll Gaming, sir.
Yes.
What are your personal goals for 2025, and what are your professional goals for 2025?
Okay. Well, it's hard to follow up now because, you know, you just went ahead and got engaged and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's a two-person thing, though.
Personally, I would say I spent a lot of the past 3 years traveling. Okay. And so really try to stay home a little bit more. Been staying home and just, you know, really, you know, re-acclimatizing to just living in the Seattle, Washington area. Okay. I missed out a lot on that. Also, just been streaming a lot more. Okay. You know, since I'm being more home, just streaming more and just being more home. Okay. Currently looking for a new career path. Okay. You know, we'll see where that goes. We'll see where it's going to take me. I have a couple of things that I'm hoping to work out. Okay. Okay. And yeah, just being a better version of myself. You know, just volunteering more and just doing more amazing stuff. Hopefully, you know, doing more stuff here with Soba. You know, contributing more to, you know, these themed events and these stuff we got going on later.
Well, I will tell you this. Like don't let chat know.
Yeah.
But you will probably be doing a lot more hosting with Soba.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I know the guy in charge of production. I'll put in a good word for him.
Okay.
All right, I got you. All right. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to be back with the incomparable, with the invaluable RockAGoth. All right, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, and we will be right back after just a moment. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Seattle Online Broadcasters Association February Meetup. Now, you may notice that I am still here, but the guest to my left has changed. So I would like to introduce you to the illustrious, the incomparable, the invaluable RockAGoth. Rock, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy for you to be here too. Normally, you're standing like right there, giving me mean looks with a clipboard in your hand.
They're not that mean.
They're not. They're
threatening.
They are threatening, but
Yes.
they're not that mean.
Yeah.
But with all of that being said, what I'd like you to do is tell the people at home what you do in terms of Soba, at least, because we're going to get into the rest of your stream and the rest of the things you do.
Okay.
But I want people to understand why you're normally standing right there,
Okay.
giving me threatening looks.
All right. So I work with productions. I'm your production assistant. And,
More like assistant production manager.
oh, I like that title better. Yeah.
It's more accurate.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down. Sounds fancy. Yeah, and I just make sure we're on time and everything's on track and going to plan and people are queued up to come up here and talk.
You're missing some steps.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the run of show
Oh, yes.
that is the thing that keeps us on track. You built the templates for that.
Oh, yes.
You keep those templates updated. You make sure that I am updating them when I'm supposed to be.
I try.
I'm pretty sure that you will be moving into actually building full runs of show on your own, because I know I had you look at doing that in January, but we, unfortunately, because of we're a nonprofit organization, so unfortunately sometimes funding is a little bit difficult, so we're still doing every other month. But I know that you were working on a run of show for that. You've also come up with a couple of different improvements that we can do towards the show that we're definitely going to be moving to through the rest of this year. So you do more than just make sure that people are queued up and in the right spot. Like,
Yeah, I guess I do.
yeah, we're almost at the point where you will tell me this, like I will tell you this is the theme for the month, and you'll go, okay, here are our hosts, here are our time segments. Alchemist, I need you to go and find me 2 guests,
Yeah.
and I need you to commit to running your mouth for an hour, and then we're good.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a little bit more than just keeping everyone queued up. But if I'm not mistaken, some of the work you've done with us, you've actually been able to transfer to other organizations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I do run social media for like Seattle Tekken and stuff like that. But I feel like, you know, all credit where it's due. I learned so much from you. From you, Alchemist.
So you talking to...
And, you know, I've never worked in production before, and I'm so happy that I got this opportunity because I've learned so much while I've been here. Especially, like, you just have to be able to work on the fly. And that's something I need more practice with. So there's nothing better for that kind of practice than production. So
I agree with that. Now, I know you've worked with Seattle Tekken, and I know you also stream Tekken on your own channels.
Yes.
But you've also done some work with Seattle Indies in the past, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
right? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I actually had the pleasure of working with Alchemist with Seattle Indies in 6.
I was hoping you would talk about your experience and
Okay,
leave
I'm
me out of it, like, because it's starting to
can't-
sound like I'm just like,
I mean, I
tell
can't-
me how great I am, and that's not what this is supposed to be.
I know, I can't help it because, like, you've kind of taken me under your wing. So, like, you've been right there with me this whole journey.
I can't.
I know. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, then we're going to change subjects. I would like for you to tell me more about the RockAGoth stream, like gaming in the basement. Now, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
I have been invited and have hung out and kind of lurked in the Discord. But tell everyone a little bit about Rock as Rock, not as a part of Soba.
Okay, all right. So me as a streamer, I first started streaming Tekken because I wanted to improve my gameplay. So I would just stream it and then like look back at the replays. And then one day I got rated by like a bigger Tekken streamer. They changed their name to Drew Gaming, I think.
Okay.
But I got like 20 follows from there, and I was just flabbergasted with how many. Like, I'm like 20 people want to follow me. Like why? I think I'm up to like 760 right now, and I'm just it touches me so much. I'm just like, I never really saw myself here, and I feel like communities like Seattle Tekken and Soba, and like I'm just blessed to be here in such a place where people want to interact with each other, and there's just so many different communities, you know. But getting back to Tekken, so I compete in Tekken. I just got picked up by a local team.
Word?
Yeah.
When were you gonna tell me this?
Hold
on. We switching from host Alchemist to Alchemist out. Why did I not know about this before now?
I mean, it just kind of happened this week.
Oh, it was this week.
It was this week, yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put the revolver back.
Okay.
Because I was about
Jesus.
to be upset, man. Like, what you mean you got picked up by a team? Tell me more about that.
Okay, so the owner invited me to play on their team. Like, we were on a team together.
Okay.
And I think he we've run tournaments together and stuff like that, online tournaments. And so he just invited me. He said he'd really like to have me. We had our first like practice last night at our first team meeting.
Okay.
And it was really interesting. All the people on the team, they're really, really nice. I'm really happy that I found a team that really wants to spread positivity, because that's one thing in the FGC that, you don't see a lot of. And I hate to say that, but that's why, like, when I first got into Tekken, I was a bit kind of, I was a bit apprehensive.
I get that.
I didn't know what to expect, since I was a woman going into, fighting games. And you hear all sorts of stuff, and there's not a lot of us. So, being in that space, I really want to create safe spaces for people like me, for the LGBTQ plus community.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm on this team, I'm hoping to do that. The team's called Mecha Titan Storm. Wait, I said that backwards. Mecha Storm Titan, yeah.
Mecha Storm Titan, okay.
Yeah. And they're a Pacific Northwest-based team.
Okay. Now, you said you've done tournament organization.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been a TO.
Yes.
So I know a bit about TOs, and I know a bit more about production.
Yes.
Tell me about the kind of intersectionality between those two skill sets, because I feel like the Venn diagram for those two skill sets is almost a circle.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a great question. I never put those two things together before. But it is. It's really all about scheduling and making sure people are where they need to be at the time they need to be there.
Especially during pools, because
yes.
if you're not there during pools.
Yeah, you get DQ'd, because it just holds back the whole thing, especially if you're streaming it. And then you need some people need to be on stream, and then you have the people who aren't on stream. You need to make sure they're in their matches, they're doing their matches, they report their matches. So for one person, like, usually my tournaments are usually pretty small. They'll have like up to 20 people. We'll have an upper and lower bracket, and you just got to make sure everything's going while you're streaming. So usually I'll have some commentators, and that kind of helps.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you're not doing everything yourself.
I get that. So I have a question. So since you've been working with Soba, has there been any skills that you've learned in working with production that has helped with tournament organizing? And contrarily, has there been any skills that you developed as a TO that you brought over to helping with production for a MeetUp-based event?
Yeah, I think pretty much just being able to multitask. I feel like the skills I've learned here really helped me to multitask better. I feel like the things that I brought to Soba from TOing, that's an interesting one, because I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I have ideas.
Okay. So I heard Rock say, but I have ideas. And the production manager part of me twitched, because I'm like, I already know what that means. That means that we have a meeting coming up where she's going to be like, why have we not done this? So, okay. There's a quick question I have to ask as,
Okay.
as a bit of an interlude.
Okay.
You mentioned that you play Tekken.
Yes.
But you did not specify which Tekken you started with.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, since I started playing like 2.5 years ago, that was like Tekken 7. But my first experience with Tekken was Tekken 5.
Okay.
I just really liked Lily. I don't know why. I think I must have got the game for free or something.
That'll do
And
it.
so I just like started playing around with it, and I was enamored with Lily, and also Christy. They did my girl dirty. Justice for Christy.
Christy is descended from Eddie.
She's
And
better than
you-
Eddie. Are we gonna have this conversation right now?
Christy is descended from Eddie. And you and I both know that Tekken 3, Eddie Gordo was a demon. Because
he?
if you wanted to learn how to play... So the interesting thing about fighting games is that there's this weird skill curve. Like when you play... Like I play a lot of FPS games.
Yeah.
And the skill curve for FPS games is fairly straightforward. There's a pretty steep onset as you're learning the game, the maps, the guns, the movement. And then there's a small plateau. And then there's another increase where you start to learn what you're comfortable with and those sneaky spots where you have been killed by and you go, okay, well, now that I know that spot's there, I'm going to use that in the future.
Yeah.
But it still is a constant upwards. With fighting games,
Yeah.
the skill curve's a little different.
You think so?
Yeah, because I feel like when you first start, you pick a character based on whatever.
Yeah.
And you're mashing buttons. You're not looking at combo strings. You're not looking at move charts. You're just going, I'm gonna push this button as fast as I can until the other person's health bar reaches 0.
Yes.
And then you start to go, I feel like I'm pretty good. I beat up all of my friends and family.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
an online component of this game. I'm gonna go try that, and then you're craters.
You find out the truth. Yeah.
Because you find out, in actuality, you mashing low forward over and over and over again means that the guy playing King gets hit by that twice. And after the second time, he low crushes you. The third time, he low parries you and he turns you into a pretzel. Now,
Yes.
I am speaking from viewing, not from experience. But with all that being said,
Yeah.
Christy is the descendant of Eddie.
Okay.
And Eddie is when I stopped playing Tekken. Because I played Tekken 1 and I played Tekken 2. I'm that old. And I played Tekken 3 and I really liked Jin Kazama because Jin was cool.
Yeah.
And then my friend started playing Eddie and I just got whirlwind kicked until I felt like I was going to cry.
Yeah. I mean, he still does that too. Yeah.
He does a little more now because
Yeah.
I've seen him in
Well,
Tekken
yeah.
8, which we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But you mentioned Lily, you mentioned Christy. So in Tekken 8, are your mains still Lily and maybe Eddie?
No. I don't know. Like, it was Christy's personality that I really liked. There was something different about Christy. I'm not gonna say I can't stand Eddie. He's his own person. That's all I'm gonna say.
He was one of her backup dancers. So like there's a gentleman on Twitch right now named Unruly that if he heard you speak ill of
I
Mr.
know.
Gordo,
I know.
Unruly would be if you happen to be watching right now. I promise you, her opinion does not represent the views and opinions of Soba as an organization, of AlchemistJoker. She's not shading Eddie
No.
much.
I'm not trying to.
Okay, so are there any other fighting games? Before we go to other fighting games, I have a question.
Yes,
Since you've talked about doing TOing,
Yeah.
and you currently stream Tekken, if you had to choose 2 tournaments to go to play, and on one hand, it'd be all expense paid,
Oh, okay.
but you have to play against whomever the 1 seed in that game is
Okay.
on stream. What game would you pick
Okay.
and what tournament would it be?
So what game would I pick? Well, I only play Tekken, really. Like, I don't play any other fighting games. For some reason, I can't 2D. Like, I can only 3D fighting
Really?
games. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like, I went to visit my sister, and we played Street Fighter for the first time, and she doesn't play video games. And she won. I don't know what it is about 2D games.
Is it because it doesn't have a KBD? You can't Korean backdash or out of trouble?
Lily, she can sidestep.
Okay.
So I think it's just like I need to be able to move to the side and out of the way. Like the jumping over is like I can't wrap my head around it.
You know, me and Troll are real upset about the fact that you're shading 2D because Troll and I are
know,
Guilty
I'm not
Gear
trying
fans.
to. Oh my goodness.
So the fact that you say you can't 2D makes me feel like maybe you got an issue with Guilty Gear. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe you can teach me.
Don't put it back on me. That's not.
Yeah.
This is what happens in meetings, by the way. This is why. This is like I will go. This, and she's like, okay, why don't you show me? I'm like, that wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
That wasn't how it's supposed to go. Okay, so you would play Tekken.
Yeah.
Who would you play? You'd have to play. I won't say the top ranked player, but you'd have to play a player on stream.
Okay.
Who would you choose to play?
Oh, since I'm gonna get whipped anyway, probably either Arslan, Ash, or Cuddlecore.
Okay, so you're going like
Hey.
if I'm gonna get whooped, I might as well get whooped by the best.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Okay. I will choose the same game,
Okay.
but I'll tell you who I would play against.
Okay. Who?
I would play against Lil Masha.
Oh. Would you really?
I would.
Okay.
Because one, I know I'm going to lose. Let's be not confused.
I mean, I'm not confused.
It's
Like,
not a like, oh, I'm gonna play him because I think that's not how that goes. I get crushed.
Yeah.
But his story about his Evo run in Tekken 7, how it was supposed to just be like a vacation, like him and his girl were gonna go.
Yeah.
He was gonna play a couple matches, get knocked out in pools, and then
Yeah.
spend the rest of his time in Vegas. And then he ended up making top 8. Like, that's one of those stories that you're just like, that dude.
Yeah.
That dude's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Now, if I'm choosing my fighting game, I would choose Guilty Gear Strive, and I would choose to play Hotashi
Okay.
on stream. Just because at least I know he won't make the pain last long. And he can do all the showboating, and I can just be nameless scrub number 2, and I don't have to do any of the hosting. Like, I could turn the personality off.
Yeah. And then you get the street cred for like playing Lil Majin too.
Okay. So I do have a story I have to tell real quick.
Okay.
So my day job had a booth at Evo a couple years ago.
Okay.
And Guilty Gear Strive was still fairly new. And we had someone stop by the booth.
Okay.
New York Chris G.
Oh, okay.
And so I was showing him one of the controllers that we had for PlayStation. And it's like, he was like, okay, well, this seems kind of cool. I'd like to try it out. I'm like, okay, cool. And my boss goes, well, he'll play you. Not knowing that he's talking to Evo winner New York Chris G. So he tells me, like, yeah, he'll play you. And then he grabs his phone to take pictures of me playing against this guy who walked up.
That's so cool.
No. Because my boss didn't know who that was. So I know what he's going to do. He's going to do what he had been doing the entire time. He takes a couple pictures of the match, takes a picture of the gameplay in progress, and then he tags the person in it.
Okay.
He doesn't know who that is. So he doesn't know, because he told him, I'm going to take a couple pictures and then I'm going to tag you in it. So he went from, I'm just going to see how this controller is, to, I'm about to whoop this dude right now. Because if it's going to get put online, I'm not going to let this dude beat me and then have it get put online.
Yeah.
So I then had to play against, I'll say, 15% power New York Chris G. Now, I will proudly tell you, I did not get double perfect.
Okay.
I didn't get perfected at all. I actually
You held your
put
own.
up a fight
Okay.
for a moment.
Yeah.
First round, little jittery, landed a couple of stray hits and everything. And he kind of could tell, and he's just feeling out the controller.
Yeah.
In the second round, I actually landed my hit, and I did the combo that I've been practicing, that I've been
Oh,
drilling
that's so
in,
cool.
in lab. And he looks over at me and goes, "Oh, so you do play this game?"
Uh-oh.
And then I never touched him again.
I don't blame you.
like I never, like I did my combo, did my RC into like the whole
Yeah.
string. Like Troll knows, because Troll knows I play Geo.
Yeah.
It was the close slash, down heavy slash, jump, dust cancel, Roman cancel into super.
Oh, damn.
And I was real happy about it. And he looks over and he goes, "You do play this game." And then he turned the power level up from 15% to 20, and
He's
I
like,
never touched him
I'm gonna
again.
stop being friendly. I'm just gonna do what I do.
So I've had that experience of playing against a player like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we've talked about tournament organizing.
Mm-hmm.
If you could go to work for any tournament that exists in the world right now, what tournament would it be?
Oh, there's so many good ones.
And you can't say Evo.
God damn it. How'd you know? How'd you know it was going to be Evo?
Because Evo's, if you don't know anything about fighting games, but you do know about horse racing.
Yeah.
Weird analogy, just stick with it.
Okay.
The fighting games kind of has its own triple crown.
Yeah.
So in horse racing, the Triple Crown starts with the Kentucky Derby. I know that because I lived in Louisville for like 10 years.
Okay.
And then it's the Belmont and the Preakness. I think that's the order. Correct me if I'm wrong. I lived in Louisville. We didn't care about anything after the Derby. But that's the Triple Crown. In fighting games, there is also a Triple Crown, but it kind of goes, it's not quite the same. Because the Triple Crown for fighting games starts with Combo Breaker.
Yes.
And then it's Evo. And then it's CEO. And I think CEO happens before. I think Evo's in the middle.
Yeah, I think Evo's in the
Yeah,
middle.
because I think it's Combo Breaker,
Breaker's coming up,
and then
yeah.
Evo, and then CEO. So Evo is the granddaddy of them all. If the words Evo Moment 37 mean something to you, that's why you can't pick Evo, because there is no CEO Moment number 22 or Combo Breaker. Combo Breaker has that cool moments, but it's not the same. So you can't pick Evo.
Okay.
And you can't pick Evo Japan or Evo Brazil. Don't be a wise ass. Like none of those.
Yeah, okay.
Which one would you do?
I mean, I guess it would be Combo Breaker, because I feel like a lot of, you have a lot of professional teams there, and you have a lot of amateur teams. And it's kind of good to see that kind of mix up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which game would you want to? Which game would you want to be the TO for?
I mean, I only do Tekken. I live, breathe, and bleed
I know. Okay.
Tekken.
I know that's your game, but like you don't even dream of other. You eat, sleep, breathe, dream Tekken only.
Yes.
How you feel about Virtua Fighter 5 Revo?
You know, I was pretty excited about it. I haven't played it yet
Okay.
because I'm practicing Tekken.
Okay. All right. So I have one last question,
Okay.
and this one is going to hurt
Oh.
because anyone who's watching you, and you're going to plug where people can find you afterwards. So if people aren't already following you, they will be able to. But
Okay.
this one's going to sting. So I hope you're ready. You get to choose the DLC fighters for Season 2 of Tekken 8.
Don't do that to me. I'm gonna
But you
hate
have to
mail.
choose one guest character
Okay.
from outside of fighting games.
Okay.
Who are your 3 guest characters? And who are your 3 DLC characters? And who is your 4th guest character from outside of the FGC?
Okay. So just going off of like old Tekken characters. Oh, well, I mean, I'd want to bring Christy back.
I knew that one
mean,
was coming. I knew that one was coming.
I kind of want to see Makujin back.
Really?
I do. I know that's a hot take, probably.
That take is scalding.
Yeah.
Okay, so the wooden
Yeah, the
punching
guy.
dummy.
Because
Okay,
I think the mechanics of him, it's so interesting, right? Like.
I can give you that. Okay.
There's so many characters. I think maybe, I know people are going to hate me for this, but Falk. I really like Falk. Yes, I know. Don't say anything.
All right, so now you got to pick one character from outside of the FGC.
Cersei from Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
I think
Okay.
she would be better than Negan. Like, we need her in there.
You think she would be?
You know, give her some of that. What was it, like the green dragon or like the green?
I get that, but you said Negan is spectacular.
Oh, don't even get me started on Negan.
You know what?
I have trauma from Negan. Like, I can't go.
You know what? We gonna take a break and we gonna discuss what your problem with Negan is, because Negan is wonderful. All right.
Okay.
Little pig.
Oh, no.
Let me in. We're gonna take a quick break, all right, while we discuss our Tekken guest character choices. But stay tuned, because when we come back, Troll will be back, and we'll be talking about the Celebrate Black Brilliance and just Twitch Black Guild and other things having to do with Guild. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back, all right?
Back to the Seattle Online Broadcast Association. First Twitch meetup of the year. I'm here again, Troll, with the brother AlchemistJoker.
Hello, everyone. As you've seen my face again.
So I got to ask,
Okay.
did you guys ever finish that conversation about the DLC characters?
So, I would like to say, for the record, I told RockAGoth what my outside the FGC choice would be, and she told me I was basic.
Who did you pick?
I picked Tifa from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah.
I don't have to take this. I don't have to take this.
Now, can you tell the chat what I picked as my out of the FGC
You just
character?
hold on. No.
Is
Is this what it's like to be the host?
Yes.
Like, you just get to manipulate the chat into your...
I'm just saying, what did I pick?
Troll chose Johnny Bravo, which, in all fairness, is an inspired choice. But if you're going to come up with a inspired choice, I will tell you who my actual pick would be.
Okay, let me know what that pick is.
My actual pick would be Long from Bloody Roar 2.
Okay.
No transformation, of course, but actually not Long, Shenlong specifically, because one, his super was super cool, because his, like, I'm assuming you've played Bloody Roar 2.
Yeah.
So his super in that game, all of the supers in Bloody Roar, you would be in beast form. Like, all of the characters would have a human form and an animal form. His animal form was a giant tiger. And his super, he would basically, it looks like he slaps you. Like, it looks like he's just, like, hits you in the throat. But what he's actually doing is tearing your throat out and then transforming back into a person.
Yep.
And while you're writhing around on the ground, he smugly walks over to you and just on the side of your face. And then your chest explodes. It's fighting games. Like, none of it has to make sense. But he was the coolest character. So it would be him.
It's amazing. Trust me.
Or Yugo.
Okay.
Because I think Yugo and Steve Fox. Because Yugo the Wolf,
Of course.
Steve Fox. Like,
You
that
could-
would
you
be
could
a
do
cool
a side storyline.
That
there.
would be kind of
Okay.
cool.
So with that being said, now, as well, when we first started the meetup today, you told us you just joined the Twitch Black Guild.
I did.
Okay.
I recently, so there was a Twitch community summit, like community meetup summit. So
Yes.
the Twitch meetups, the Twitch ambassadors.
Oh, you got to go to San Francisco.
I was in San
And that's where you
Francisco.
got that lovely photo. Okay.
That is where
Tell
I
me
got that
about
lovely photo. So, so we had that meetup, and I had met Thor at TwitchCon earlier that year.
Shout out to Dormingander, my
Thor
lovely
Magander,
guild leader.
He is our lovely guild
Oh,
leader, because I
our.
can say
Yeah,
that.
'cause you can
Our
say that,
lovely
dude.
guild leader. I met him at TwitchCon, and he was like, "Hey, you should definitely apply for the Twitch Black Guild." I'm like, "Oh, I'm completely down to do that." I went and did the application. But again, those types of things take a little bit of time, because they get a lot of applications, and they only get so many slots they open up. And they also want to make sure that the people that they're bringing into it, because the Twitch guilds are not just some additional tag to have. Like, there's a certain amount of community engagement and community building and those types of things that go into it. So they want to make sure that people that they're choosing are people that are going to do more to further the guilds.
Yes.
And so met him there, did the sign up, didn't hear anything back initially, which, again, makes perfect sense. And then at the community summit, I ran into him again, and he goes, "Why are you not in the Black Guild?" And I was like,
Sounds like Thor.
Thor, I applied. He goes, "Hold on. Pull up your Discord." I'm like, "Okay." And I pull up my Discord. And all right, you'll be in the Discord like by the end of the day. I'm like, "Okay, I appreciate that." you hear people say often, like, oh, you'll be in this thing by the end of the day. And it's like, okay, I appreciate that.
And you were there.
And then the end of the day, you're like, eh. But it wasn't even the end of the day. We finished the segment we were in. Like, he said that at the start of a segment. I went through the next segment we were in. It was another like discussion. Finished that discussion. Went to go grab something to drink, and my phone started buzzing. And I'm like, I hope someone's Discord server hasn't like gotten compromised, because that's this is a fairly common. Like, this is a lot of buzzes. And I look, and it's like, oh, the Black Guild. Oh my God, that is a lot of channels to check. So he is a man of his word 100%.
So I gotta ask you now. You've been there for a couple weeks now.
It's been about 2 months.
2 months?
2 months total, yeah, because that was in November.
Oh, it was in November.
Yeah.
So in your 2 months, what has been your experience so far?
So I have a confession.
Okay.
So that happened in November. I told you earlier.
Oh, yeah.
In December, I went to Sweden.
Yeah.
So I kind of wasn't paying attention to Twitch because,
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I got back, and once I got back, I was kind of working on doing production for this. So I can tell you that what I have seen from my experience is that, one, the people there are very, very supportive. Because I posted a picture of my my fiance and I holding hands where she has the ring on, and I put like some questions are best asked over brunch. And I got a lot of support and a lot of like positive feedback for that, which was nice. But I had the strongest feeling of FOMO because there were so many different events, both in the community Discord that were happening on Twitch, that I wanted to do and just couldn't because I wasn't at my computer. So the one thing I can say that I've seen is that the community aspect of the Twitch Black Guild is no joke. They do streams together. They do movie nights together. They have different times where they're just interacting with each other's streams. They interact with each other off stream, which is a really big deal when it comes to streaming, because a lot of times our schedules are kind of off. Like, sometimes we'll be in different places. So it is hard to get people in one place to do a thing. And the guild Discord has it down to a science. So there's almost always something, when I open up the Discord, there's almost always something that is just passed that I can see how it went and get the FOMO from. There are things that are happening at the time that I can participate and be supportive of. And then there are things that are coming up that I can get excited about and sign up for. So I've loved the activity of the Discord. I just wish I had more time.
Well, it's a good thing we're in the beautiful month of February, and it's Black History Month. So for those of you that aren't in the guild and, decide to hit the homepage of Twitch, because I know some people, I'm kind of guilty of it. I just go to my following page, and I just keep on going. There's a beautiful section that's right underneath the carousel, where you can scroll the stream, called Black Brilliance. Oh, my God. And there's a whole bunch of amazing streamers, people of color. A lot of them are friends of mine, some in the guild. A lot of people that aren't in the guild that have applications in, and they're just playing a whole variety of games. I mean, earlier today, I was playing Core Keeper for the first time. Never played it before. They were like, yeah, it's like Terraria. And I'm like, never played Terraria. Cool. I'm just going in, and I picked my fighter, and I'm just swinging at everything, and I'm dying, and then I ended up getting resources, and I got to play with like 4 or 5 other streamers that I thought, I'd never play with, and it was just cool that like we was all streaming, and we was all selected to be a part of the Black Brilliance shelf for the year 2025, and so all of our streams were there. It was cool, and it was like near the top, and it's just like, oh, anybody that was looking for Court Keeper, this is like bam, 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 bam. So first of all, I just want to say a huge shout out to Twitch for giving us the opportunity, to really showcase. I know, it gets really hard, and there are harder times, and like February is the shortest month of the year.
Yes.
But we have to take an account for the little blessings that we have, and little times. The Black Brilliance front page selection is year-long, not only for the month of February. To go along with what you said in the guild, events-wise, there are so many events, y'all. I'm talking about, like, if you ever get in the guild, if you've ever been shy to get in the guild, okay, let me tell you what we got going on Monday, okay?
Okay.
Now, I can't say all the going-ons in the guild because, you know,
I was
the
looking at you
community.
'cause I'm like,
but we have an event called Learn How to Play Spades. Now, someone like me, okay, I'm a big spades player, okay? I be sweating. Okay, sometimes there might be a little bit of cash on the side. You know what I mean? And
know whose house I'm going to this summer.
and a lot of times, you know, I go to these events, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, who want to play spades? And, you know, people are scratching their heads. I'm like, man, you know, it's kind of, I miss the days where, you know, we just played a lot more, you know, traditional card games. So, you know, it's going to be cool, you know, trying to show people how to play spades, you know, and then, like, them learning. And I know once they start playing, the rivalry, the intensity really comes.
That game is definitely. So I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, from birth until like 17, and then I lived in Louisville, Kentucky for a while. So spades is a thing that I know real well. There have been some family disputes that have come from that. But you mentioned the Twitch Black Brilliance carousel.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, one of the best moments of growth I had on my channel was Twitch had this, I want to say it was in 2020, so during COVID, they had this hosting and interviewing workshop for Black creators.
Yep.
And there were several Black creators that were in it, and I got selected to do it because I had just started hosting with Soba, so I kind of put my hat in the ring because I was like, I want to do more of this, and I got selected to do it. Austin Creed was one of our speakers. There were a couple other people that were there speaking, and I can genuinely say to you, and this is not something I've been able to say much in my life, of all the people that were in that hosting and interviewing workshop, I am the underachiever. Everyone else has gone on to do huge hosting gigs, or in some cases work for Twitch. I've seen some of them do hosting for Intel.
Yep.
I've seen them all go on to do amazing things. Like, I'm literally the underachiever of all of that. But I got selected for the first Black Brilliance carousel. And they said at the time, like, we don't know when your time slot's going to be. We don't know how that's going to work out. We're just letting you know that if you're live during the month of February, you may notice an increase in numbers. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I'm streaming. And at the time, I was married, and so I'm streaming and I'm playing Destiny 2, and I'm playing on my Xbox. Okay, so I'm playing on my Xbox on my TV, and I have a monitor that's turned that has chat.
Yep.
So I can't see numbers happening in real time.
Yep.
And I'm also doing raids in Destiny, so it's kind of intense.
Of course.
And while I'm playing and I'm kind of just having fun with my friends, my then wife comes out of the room with her phone in her hand, and she's frantically pointing at the phone. And I'm like trying really hard, like, you know, when you're streaming, you're trying to focus on stream,
what is it?
And she's off camera trying to and I'm trying to not look over to her because I'm trying to do an entertaining stream, but she looks panicked. So I finally go, what's going on? And she goes, have you seen the people? And I'm like, no. I look over at my monitor and I see 11 viewers. And I'm like, why are you freaking out about 11? And I say aloud, why are you freaking out about 11 viewers? And she goes, so I lean over and I notice that it's not 11. It's 1.1K. The most I had at that point had was like 30. So to have 1,100 people watching my goofy behind play Destiny is a moment that you will learn what type of streamer you are in that moment. Because either you turn into a different person, which is not great, but that's how some people cope. You freeze, which is also completely reasonable, or you double down and you lean really hard into who you are. And so after seeing the numbers and like her giving me this like really exaggerated double thumbs up, I stare directly into the camera and I go, I thought I left the door locked. How did you all get in here? And how did you all get in here without me hearing you? Okay, you know what? That's fine. We got plenty of popcorn. We got plenty of drinks. You all sit on this side. You all sit on this side. Not you. You sit down. You're in the way of other people, and we will continue. You're not the you I'm speaking of. and that's what I do on my streams anyway. And I ended up getting a lot of people that followed me from it. So having those opportunities to be on those front page panels is really, really amazing. But on top of that, like you mentioned, it's not just for Black History Month. Like there are a number of other different panels that will show up, not just associated with the other guilds, but just there'll be ones for FPS or cozy streams or other
sports.
Things like that, or sports. So it's been amazing to see how much work Twitch has put into helping carve out spaces for people who traditionally haven't had those spaces. So I've very much enjoyed it. But,
So I got to ask you.
okay.
And this is like, I love giving highlight, showing love to people.
Of course.
So if there was at least one person that maybe you found newly, it could have been maybe this Black Brilliance month. It could have been any other month. Just, one creator that you found maybe just going through the timelines or maybe, being rated that, you'd love to give a shout out to.
So I don't know if I think I found them through something adjacent to the guilds.
Okay.
And it's SCJ Plays, I believe.
Okay.
I think she plays Apex Legends, if I'm not mistaken, and COD.
Okay.
She's spectacular. And like her gameplay is wonderful. She's a delight to be in a stream of. So she was pretty awesome. So SCJ Plays. I need to, if I had I'm gonna grab my phone. I know this is wrong to do, chat. You're not supposed to do this while you're on camera. So do as I say, not as I do. So, but I'm gonna find out. It's either SCJ or SJC, and I want to make sure I got it right. So give me 1 second. SCJ.
And while you're looking for that, so I guess I ask you, what is it about her stream that, kept you in,
I pride myself on being a pretty good COD player.
Okay.
So it is fairly easy for me to tell when someone is about the same skill level as me, more skilled, less skilled. It is very rare for me to see someone do a thing or play in a way that makes me restructure my skill cap. Like it's not just, oh, I need to get better, oh, I need to get worse. It's, I didn't know that was a thing that could be done.
It changed your whole outlook of how you should play the game.
It completely restructured what I considered my skill level at the time to be.
Yep.
And those moments stick with me. Because we were talking about fighting games earlier. Yeah. I was playing Dragon Ball FighterZ when it first came out, and I was playing with all my friends, and I was doing a decent job. I was watching a couple of streamers that were playing it online, and I was watching a couple of YouTube videos, so I wasn't just mindlessly mashing light punch to do auto combos. Like I was trying to learn, the way anime-style games worked in terms of combo structure. And I felt like I was doing really good, so I went to play online. And I got thrashed. But it made me realize that I didn't know what I didn't know. And that's a thing that takes a lot of time to learn. You don't know what you don't know. And the only way you can find out is for someone to show you. And so watching SCJ Plays, I got to see things that I didn't know I didn't know. Perfect example of it is I knew that throwing knives I think it was Modern Warfare 3 at the time, I knew throwing knives bounced.
Okay.
I did not know that they could bounce under doors.
I'm just learning that too.
So in multiplayer, that's not as useful. But in Warzone, where you get into gunfights where people will close a door quickly, knowing that you can bounce a knife under a door and get a cheeky kill is a thing that I hadn't considered, which made me then start thinking of other things, like, oh, maybe I throw a Semtex at the door and then open the door, because throwables interact with those objects where I didn't think that they did. And once you realize that that's a thing, I would, in gunfights, retreat to doors and pay attention to which direction the door opens and closes. So I would retreat and open a door. Well, when you close it, it closes the same way you opened it.
Yep.
So I'd throw the Semtex, open the door, close the door. The person is chasing me to the door. They run right into the Semtex.
Lights out.
So that was one of the things I was like, okay, I did not realize I did not know that. And it is SCJ Plays.
SCJ Plays.
So I did get it right the first time. So I have a counter question for you.
Okay.
Has there been any streamers that you have discovered during the Celebrating Black Marines that you didn't know you needed in your life until you found them?
Oh man, there are so many. I'm gonna mention a couple because I've, since joining the guild, one of the things I've done is just check the live now section, and then also, with the Black Brilliance thing going around now, and a bunch of people announcing, I've been scrolling. So there's someone that's been in my chat. He lurks a lot.
Okay.
Really cool guy, Crispy Spidey.
Okay.
He plays a lot of Fortnite. He usually wears Miles Morales cosplay. And what makes it really fun is he's just playing the game, vibing, but he always has like a section of his screen that just has a video of just a bunch of people just partying in a room. And he's just like, he's playing Fortnite, you know what I'm saying, building, shooting people, doing all this stuff, and you just see people in the room just DJ set, just having, it's kind of like a hotel suite type of gig. You got the turntables there, and they're just grooving and vibing. You're hearing the music, and I'm just like, this is so chill, He's just vibing and chilling. But he also does that while raising money for charity as well. So
That's
you got the
cool.
game going on, you got the music vibes in the little corner, people just grooving, and then you got the bar raising for charity. So I thought that was super dope. So shout out to Crispy Spidey.
Okay.
There's another personal friend of mine that I just started watching his streams a lot more since I saw him on the carousel. I'm like, oh, you got in the Black Brilliance program.
Okay.
Watch the Armory. He's been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. In fact, I think this season 1 alone, he has about over 100 hours. He's been cracking out on it. And what makes it for me is he's one of those people that he could be abrasive at times when it comes to like when he's saying the right things, when he's true.
I get that.
And so he'll say stuff like, "Yo, can we ban Star-Lord because he's annoying on this map?" And they'll be like, "What are you talking about, man? You know how randoms are in these games. You know what ends up being on the enemy team? A Star-Lord ends up going 41-5, kills the whole team, and he would just keep queuing and keep queuing. He'll be on a 11-game losing streak, and he just keeps going. And it'd be the same thing every game. Hey, can we ban this person? Can we do this? He's trying to give comms, and it's just like, I never know you to be so dedicated to getting consecutive L's because these people not gonna change, man. These randoms not gonna change.
I get that you say that, right? But I need you to understand, it doesn't take all of them to change.
That is true.
It just takes one person to start giving comms back. Because what will happen, and I'm telling you this as sure as my name is AlchemistJoker. You didn't think I was going to say my real name on here. What are you, crazy? As sure as my name is what it is. I remember back in the days of Call of Duty Ghosts. I was playing Ghosts. I was trying to talk to my teammates. It's on Xbox, so you know how the Xbox comms go. And I'm giving call-outs, and I'm talking. And Ghosts was the first game that had this thing called Death Voice. It's now very common, but Ghosts was the first game to have it. And it was, if you got killed by a player for about a second, you could hear them talk. And the whole purpose of Death Voice was so that you could hear call-outs that your enemy was giving, so you could adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
What it actually ended up being was you hearing people curse because you die and you immediately drop a particular curse word because you just got sniped.
Yep.
I, however, would try to give call-outs.
Yep.
He's on this hill. He's here. I died from behind, whatever the case is. So one of the players on the other team gets the kill on me, and he hears my call-out, and he changes direction to go the other way because I called out that he was behind us, so he turned around and kept going that direction. The match ends, and he goes, "Hey, Alchemist, are you in a group?" And I'm like, no, if I was in a group, I would not be on the losing team. And someone on my team makes some comment, and he goes, "No, I believe it. Yo, you want to squad up after this?" Ooh. And I was like, "Yeah, okay, we can squad up." So we back out. And this is Xbox days. We back out. We send each other friend requests. We join up. We go into the next game. And I think solo, I was on like a 4-game losing streak. This bro joins, and we go on a We go on a 6-game winning streak, I think. Just back-to-back 6-game winning streak. And we ended up having another random on our team that is like, yo, can I join up with y'all? Because y'all are crushing it. And we were like, it's just the 2 of us. She's like, I'll join. That's fine. It'll be 3 of us. Over the span of about 3 weeks, we went from 2 people to 12 people.
Wow.
And we would squad up in groups of 6 and go into lobbies and stomp people.
So what you're telling me is not to lose faith.
Don't lose faith, because all it takes is one teammate to go, yo, I'll squad up with you. Or, yo, thanks for the call out. Or you say need healing and they actually heal you.
Okay, y'all, I won't give up. So before we end this segment, do you have a message to anybody that, you know, is just hearing about the Black Brilliance program or hearing about the guilds, or just in general, just, you know, as a person of color, you know, Black History Month, you know what I'm saying, for anybody that's shying away, you know, Twitch is still a new platform for a lot of people. Just a message to the people.
So this is going to go, I've been very jokey, haha, for a bit of this, but this is going to be a little bit serious. It is more important now than ever to find, and I said this earlier and I'm going to say it again, to find your tribe.
Okay.
Even if you apply for the guilds and you don't immediately get accepted, that's fine. Still interact with other people that you see are in the guilds. Still interact with other people that may be applying for the guilds. Still interact with those like-minded individuals, because streaming in and of itself is a very lonely career.
Yes, it is.
As much fun as you have, and as much as people see like the streamers that have hundreds of thousands of people, it still is just you at the end of the day.
Yep.
Even if chat is 100,000 people, they're not in the room with you.
Yep.
And so it still is a lot of you as you. So finding other people who understand what that journey is like is imperative, because without that, this becomes very hard to keep going. So find your tribe, and it doesn't have to be just streamers in the Black Guild. If you're applying for the Pride Guild or the Latin Guild or the Women's Guild, find other streamers who feel the way that you do and support them. Because when you never know with the way things are currently going, when it's that little bit of extra support means a whole lot to someone.
That was a beautiful message. I have nothing more to say on that. Thank you, Mr. Alchemist.
Thank you,
It's
Mr.
always a
TrollGamingLive.
pleasure.
I appreciate it.
So we're going to go on a break now, and then we're going to bring a very special guest. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you guys are going to like the next segment, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We're back here again, and I have a very lovely guest. I've been seeing him at these meetups for a while, and he walked up to me, and he said, hey, how do I be a part of one of this? Well, he did the first step, you know. He spoke up, and so I thought, you know, we might as well get him on stream and get to learn a little bit about him. So, introduce yourselves to the audience.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zardycoolers. I'm a Twitch streamer as a affiliate.
Okay.
And I'm also a VGC player, a Pokemon Shiny Hunter.
Okay.
I am also part of Twitch stream Team Yao.
Okay.
It's a probably... I'm trying to describe it.
It's okay.
It's a Pokemon region. It's just like a Pokemon variety group where they do shiny hunts and they support other variety games.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So, you know, we're all about the support and love, and, you know, I just love how the community is all about itself.
Okay, that's amazing. So, big into Pokemon. What other games do you play other than Pokemon?
I play lots of Mario Kart.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get into that Mario Kart.
There's a lot we could talk about Mario Kart, but I kind of want to reel it back now since, you know, we're just talking. Tell us about, I guess, what was your first memory of gaming in general?
Well, my first gaming in general was when I was living with my roommate and everything.
Okay.
He was a streamer when I didn't even know about. So I figured, hey, why not just do the same thing? And then I thought to myself, why not just call myself why not just make myself a channel? And, you know, see how everything goes and see how it starts out. But then he just said, "No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. You're too addicted to that."
And so, I guess, what is one of the first hurdles or first, because this streaming space, is a very difficult space.
Yeah.
You log on, for the longest time, you see the 0, you get the 1 or 2 bots that are watching you. So I guess what was one of the first things that you kind of realized once you started, streaming?
Probably the last thing I remember was, even don't know who's watching, I just know that they're there supporting me at my side.
Hell yeah.
It's really good. It's good support. I've had a lot of friends that supports me throughout my career and everything, like streaming career and just all the other things as well. So
You have a very supportive friend group.
yeah,
And that's something that me and Alchemist were talking about in the last segment where, just having your tribe, and it could be people, from outside, your regular life. So that's really cool. I guess, what would you say is your reason for coming to Soba? Like, was it somebody that walked up to you? Was it something that you saw an ad? Were you just looking for stuff?
I think this is the first. I think now I've been here before, and I've been here more than 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Right now,
Okay.
ever since I found Soba.
Okay.
And I've been connecting with a lot of streamers here. This has been such a big community. It's just my home. And I kind of love how everything turns out to be. Especially with the whole community itself. And it just seems like I just love it how everyone's connected with each other.
And it's great. I've told times before, but for those of you that don't know, I used to live in Washington, D.C., and I used to commute I'm saying commute, but it's really a flight, from Washington, D.C. over here to come for meetups from 2018. And so I would go to the DC meetups at the time, and then I would also come over here just because I love the camaraderie, I love the people that I was meeting, and just a lot of opportunities to do stuff like this, and just come up and hey, they were always hey, just raise your hand, or just say something in the Discord. And so if you're not in the Discord, you definitely want to go and join the Seattle OBA Discord. There's a lot of people in there, a lot of different channels. We're going to be organizing a couple of other stuff in there, and if you too want to come out and do little stuff like this, I mean, we're always open to suggestions. We're always open to different cool stuff. And if for anything at all you're shy about coming, there's always a raffle. There's always some sort of giveaway. I mean, I'm sure you've won something since you've been coming.
I have not.
What?
None. Never.
Today might be the day. After me though. After me though. So I kind of want to go back to Pokemon Adventure. So what was your first Pokemon game?
My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Emerald.
Okay.
So my first starter was Torchic, and
Okay.
I love how good it was, how good of a starter it was.
Is that your favorite Pokemon?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
So Gen 3 is my favorite.
Okay, Gen 3 gang, we in here. Gen 3, I love Gen 3. And so what have you been thinking about, the more recent Pokemon games? Let's say since Let's Go to current Pokemon games.
Scarlet and Violet is kind of like a good game where
Okay.
you can actually ease your shiny hunt into most areas. So when you make a sandwich, you just you get that boost. When I'm talking about that boosty boost, it's just shiny odds are increased. You just get the kill, kill or just destroy or defeat. Nothing too bad. Either Pokemon that's in the area, wild area, just normal standard, Let's Go, the adventure sync and everything.
Okay.
I love the Blueberry Academy. It's just you earn and rack up points and everything. It's so good.
Okay. So for the people that aren't, big shiny hunting, or maybe
Yeah.
it's first time hearing shiny hunting, can you explain to them what shiny hunting is about? I guess the joy that you feel in shiny hunting and why you've been doing it for so long?
Well, to put it that way, shiny hunting takes a lot of time and effort, but it takes a lot of, concentration on what you're hunting for. So say, for instance, if I'm going after a shiny Charcadet, you have to look at the color of the eyes. Say, because one's red, one's blue, so it doesn't you can tell the difference between the two.
Okay.
That's that's like my favorite. Because it's not, even though it's not the favorite, everyone's favorite shiny. It's still in my heart. I love it.
Okay.
Because I love the blue eyes. It's just like I love between the different shinies and between Armarouge and Ceruledge. Ceruledge has red eyes, and then Armarouge has blue eyes.
Okay.
So you can't tell the difference between the two. So it's different. So
Okay, so some Pokemon, they have very distinct color schemes and
Yeah.
stuff, and some are very particular.
Yeah.
So for someone that just hop in for the first time, do they just go in the grass in a certain area till it pops up? Is there like a certain strategy to
It
it?
depends on the area in Scarlet and Violet on what area you're in.
Okay.
So like, say for instance, I'm in, Oko Path or, Area 0. That there's a lot of Pokemon that's surrounding. It's kind of like Legends Arceus where it's like an open world field.
Okay.
So, you have your options.
And so I've been seeing a lot of people play that Pokemon card game.
Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Okay.
is very.
Tell me about that, because I've been seeing people stream it. I've been seeing people with cards. I know nothing about it, and I'm sure there's some people in the chat that want to talk about it too.
Yes, I would love to talk about it.
Okay.
It is a gacha game.
Okay.
Based on its card collecting. I would want to say about that. The most thing I have been doing, I've been collecting EX cards, like, extra rare cards. So, like, been pulling from here, pulling there. You get 2 free pulls per day.
Okay.
And then...
Oh, that's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, and then you have all these pack hourglasses that you can save up for, like, 10 packs. Which is, I kind of find that interesting.
Okay. So you're, using your free pulls, whaling, for those of you that know whaling, put in big bucks to get what you want. So with these cards, do you actually get competitive advantage?
Yes.
Oh, so you actually do get.
Yeah, so
Oh.
it's not competitively like, advantage, but it's like, you practice and you get better, and then they have a online rank mode, and then they have now they just added a trading mode.
Oh.
So they just now implemented that.
Trading in a gacha. I don't think I've ever seen trading in a gacha. I haven't played too many myself. I play a little bit of Genshin Impact. I play a little bit of...
That's a game I got to get into.
You never play Genshin Impact?
No.
Okay, so I gotta tell you. So Genshin Impact, I think it came out, September of 2020 or so, September, August. And me and my buddies, because of the way the pandemic was, I believe reset every day was like 5 or 6 a.m. Eastern. And every day we would hop on, we'd do all the dailies, we'd go around, we had our little routes where we'd get all the resources. We'd spend everything, because we try to be as free to play as possible. So we would do everything within like an hour and a half, and then we'd log off. And it was like our morning routine, and it was nice because it was something that we did in the morning before, whether trying to go to work or job hunting or just, give us something to do, because, it was a very unpredictable climate at the time. And I made so many friends. A lot of people were on Animal Crossing. I was playing a lot of Genshin Impact.
I know how I feel the same way about you when I play Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yes.
It's like you spend a lot of money on orbs, and then you gotta do like a summoning ritual, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbs, color orbs, and everything. You pick which one it is, and then that's your 5-star guaranteed summon. So, like for me, my latest plus 10 character is Boyd, young Boyd.
Okay, young Boyd.
And he has Gust, Surge Sparrow, Close Count, Close Call, and he has, I guess, I can't remember the last skill, but like he has I guess I'm trying to remember. It's something like he's a player phase.
Okay.
So I I've spent so much money into him, like getting the materials from other units and then building that into him. We do have a Binding Worlds coming up tomorrow night, around 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So with that, Faye just announced that they're having to give away a free other world where you can like build, where we can actually like grab someone else's forma and turn it into your ally. So it's kind of like the same thing with Gotcha.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's amazing. So, it's Black History Month, and in the previous segment we were talking about the Black Brilliance program, the Black Guild.
Yeah.
Are you a member of the Twitch Black Guild?
I am not.
Okay.
I want to be a part of a guild.
Okay. Have you put an application in yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I plan on doing it this
Okay.
month.
When applications, we'll connect after this segment, and I'll give you, information. So send it.
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta ask you, what is one of your goals for the year? I guess your goals, as a content creator, this 2025.
That is a good one. I plan on being a Twitch partner.
Ooh,
So I went to the last year in TwitchCon. I went to the boat. It was the, I think the intake for not the intake, but like the hot tips, hot tips for like how to become a Twitch partner.
Yep.
And all you have to do is just come and you have to just set a stream schedule.
Yep.
And just consistently do it until you reach 75 average viewers. And then your application will be put in. That's my goal.
Hell yeah, be a Twitch partner, and maybe you'll be one of the fortunate ones, to get your check mark during TwitchCon. I know every year they tend to surprise somebody, and then they get like a new badge. They go from their badge to the partner badge.
I remember when I was on that scavenger hunt in TwitchCon, and they sent the whole entire scavenger hunt sent me to the Twitch partner lounge. I was like, what is going on?
Those scavenger hunts are really cool.
They are. Like, it's like, is it right? Because I asked myself, is it right here? And they said, no. Why is it a Twitch? People were like, started looking at me like, why is it a Twitch affiliate in this area? Like, it doesn't make no sense. You see? You feel me?
Yeah, that would surprise me. And so you've been on. How long have you been streaming again? You told me.
For about 4 years.
4 years. So who would you say are some of your influences or people you look up to, or maybe people that inspire you, in this space?
I think I look up to a lot of people. Like,
and feel free to highlight them. I mean, this is the platform to really,
I look up to Firemaster MT. He's like the best. A friend I can actually count on and depend on. And he's always the best shiny hunter I could ever think of. Okay. And then there's also Shine Patrol, who's also a shiny hunting streamer as well. And then a lot of VGC players as well. I also look up to say Master Mark VGC. Okay. And just so much goes on. I just love watching everything. I love watching the Pokemon community. I love watching the Pokemon channel. It's so they have regionals every single weekend. Okay. Like every other weekend or so.
That's amazing. So, and that's kind of like me. I'm a fighting game guy. Me and Alchemist, and almost every week, and multiple times during the week, there's either an online tournament or an offline event, and I just love to support and just love to watch. And there's just so many talented players, so many different personalities, the stories that go along with them too. And so it's kind of cool that, this person here in the Pokemon community that just goes through a bunch of channels, whether it's shiny hunting or whether it's the esports. And for me personally, it's hard for me to watch Pokemon events because they have long breaks. Okay, it'd be one match and then 45-minute breaks. Okay, so my best friend just told me that you gotta watch the VODs. You gotta skip through it. So I guess for you, how do you watch those events? Because the long breaks in between.
Well, I usually either leave the stream on, whether don't get me wrong, I don't sleep. I don't sleep during the VODs. I watch everything half during the day, half during the night. It's on and off, kind of type of thing. But then, they give out free Pokemon. And I'm like, okay, wow, they have a free Pokemon for made by this trainer. And I'm like, it's good. It's a good mod to use. Iron Hands, Marco's Iron Hands. You have Patrick's Pelipper. You have Marcos, Porygon 2. Those are the 3 ones I have right so far. I'm about to get like Marcos Silva's Jump Left. We're all about to get that this month during EUIC. And it's gonna be so epic to use. It's my Sun team.
That's amazing. All right, so I've been waiting for this moment.
What is it?
Waiting. You mentioned Mario Kart, okay? So I am probably the worst Mario Kart player in this building.
I ain't gonna lie, I am the worst one too.
No, I'm definitely the worst Mario Kart player in this building. Guaranteed. Okay, there's a pub near my house here where they play Mario Kart, and I lose to everybody, even the people that don't even know that they play Mario Kart. It's that bad. I have a good friend of mine. He's named Leo. He's owner of United Gaming League, and he's pretty big in the Mario Kart community, organized a lot of events.
Yeah.
And I've met so many amazing players. There's another tournament that I used to go to called Kumite in Tennessee, KIT. Shout out to my man, Katana Prime. He's a Mortal Kombat dude. He's like semi-retired at the moment, but he's a really amazing Mario Kart player. I guess what makes you love Mario Kart so much, and like I guess what are your like short-term goals in like Mario Kart? Is it to like, is there like a local event that you want to go to? Is it just online, or is it just getting competent and like learning some maps?
I think I want to like learn how to play online better. And
Okay.
just get better with Bowser Jr. because it's like so good. He's so good. He's like pretty much my go-to guy.
Okay.
Like, I'm good with bikes. and
Okay.
I'm good with the good wheels. And
Okay.
all of it. And, the map's kind of difficult. But I love the Excite Bike track.
Okay.
It's such a good track.
And is Mario Kart 8 your first Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's your first Mario Kart?
Yeah, it was my
Ooh.
first Mario Kart when I first bought it. I don't have because I have the downloadable, but I'd have the downloadable content one.
Okay.
But I have the DLC, and then I have the booster. I have the booster, booster course in it, the booster course DLC. So that's like.
And have you ever thought about playing any of the older ones? Because I play a lot of Double Dash growing up. You know what I'm saying? I played Mario Kart Double
Now
Dash.
that you mention it,
Yeah.
I did remember playing that a long time ago when I was a kid.
Double Dash was the game growing up.
Yeah.
And so, are you excited for the new Mario Kart with the Switch 2?
Oh, you got me started with that. Like, you got me started with the Mario Kart 2, the Mario Kart and Switch 2.
Yes.
I have planned on getting the Switch 2, even though that my tax refund was only $330. I plan on saving this as much as possible between later of the years.
Yes.
So I plan on getting the Switch 2, between upgrading from the OLED to the Switch 2.
Oh, you have the OLED.
Yeah.
So what is is it just like the screen when it's undocked, or is it the screen when it's docked? Because I have the very first Switch. Like the first day it came out, I got it. So I don't know, like.
The OLED is like different than the regular Switch because it's a little bit different. But the Switch 2 seems much better because that's what I've been hearing some people talk about it. My friend in I think in Florida talked about it. Said like, hey. Said in my stream like, hey, there's a lot of people that's waiting for the Switch 2. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Are you sure this is some good news? Like, and then the price was like, probably like $400. Probably they never said the price for how much it's going to cost.
Yep.
So we're all speculating if it's going to be around $300.
I think it's going to be closer to 500.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be closer to 500. Now, I do have to tell you, I was at CES this year, and I did get to hold a Switch 2. I did get to hold a Switch 2.
No way.
I did get to hold a Switch 2.
How did it feel?
It felt like a regular Switch, I'm not going to lie. But it was cool that the Joy-Cons were magnetic. It did have a better feel to it. I love, the move, where they moved the port now. So, you could dock it and not have to, because now you can't charge it and, put it on the stand at the same time. So it's nice having the port somewhere else. And so, no, it's going to be cool. One thing I was telling a lot of people is, people are like, oh, the Switch, inferior console, whatever. But for me, Nintendo games or Nintendo products, I buy them for the games, not for how big the specs are. You know what I mean? there's every once in a while there's a game like Super Mario Wonder that looks phenomenal, that just looks out of this world. But for the most part, I'm just playing Nintendo games for the games. You know, don't really care the console. So whatever console's coming out, I'm probably gonna end up getting it if it's a Nintendo product. You know, and they're very, you know, they hold on to their IP very strongly. So like, it's not like their games are gonna come on PC anytime. You know.
Yeah, when I felt like that's what I'm kind of more afraid of because like, you know, scalpers are going to probably get to it first because like, you know, they're going to probably buy it first, then resell it. And it's the same with Bloom Waters. So it's like, you know, this is the first come first serve. It's like, I know my GameStop, they are very well.
So, we're about to wrap up here. So, first of all, it was a pleasure seeing you and talking to you here. You have a message for anybody that, you know, maybe hasn't come to SOBA, should come to SOBA? I mean, like I said, you walked up to me and was like, hey, how do I get in on this? And you got here today. So any advice for anyone that hasn't been here or just any message for the people in the audience?
Exactly. If you're not familiar with Seattle SOBA, then I would say come here, have a good time, you know, connect with friends, connect with new friends, and just have a good time.
And tell the people where they can find you on all your social media.
You guys can find me on X, Twitter, at ZardX.2018.
Okay.
You guys can follow me on Instagram. You guys can follow me on Twitch.
Okay. Same name?
Yeah.
ZordX_2018?
So like Twitter, Zardyx, so like all my socials are different.
Okay.
So like Zardycoolers is my Twitch, and then, you know, X is my Zardyx is my 2018. Zardyx 2018 is my Twitter, and then Instagram is my same name for Twitter.
Okay. Zardyx. Yeah. Well, thank you for having here, and yeah, we're gonna chat more about the guild, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll be back with AlchemistJoker with another guest in this community.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Seattle Online Broadcasters Association February Meetup. Now, I need you all to know that one of the things that makes SOBA such an amazing kind of experience to go to is that there's this part of the show that you're seeing, which is us hosts getting to talk to amazing guests. But just on the other side of this is a room full of people that are all here from different types of streams, different communities, different places in Washington and beyond. Some of them are VTubers who might be in disguise. You never know. Some of them are IRL streamers. Some of them are FPS streamers. But all of them are here hanging out. And so the question I want to ask is, if you're in the Seattle area, you should come and hang out. If you go to Seattle OBA, I believe it is in our Twitch channel. There is a link to our Discord where you can be notified of our next meetup. At the end, later on in the show, we're actually going to be talking about our next meetup. But before we get into all of those things, I would like to introduce you to my current guest. I would like you to tell the wonderful people at home who you are and how you got here.
All right. Well, for those that are watching, I am That's Justin. That's _just_in. Don't ask me why I did it like that. It's just, you know what? Look, I'm a random individual. I tend to do things off the cuff. But anyway, that is besides the point. How I got here today is through a mutual acquaintance / friend / I guess you could say at this point, brother. Shout out to my boy TrollGamingLive, because he has been introducing me to the world of SOBA. And ever since then, I have been somewhat ingrained. I mean, I've been busy balancing my normal 9 to 5, balancing gym life, balancing my own stream, balancing trying to come here to these meetups whenever I get a chance to. And then on top of that, you know, this year is going to be the year I start traveling more, and I might start doing some traveling streams, traveling vlogs, you know, just things of that nature, trying to get outside of my bubble, because I'm so used to just playing like either cozy stuff or competitive stuff. You know, like as far as competitive stuff, I play a lot of fighting games. Tekken 8's my favorite. Street Fighter 6 is like my second love, but Tekken 8, I love it. I mean, even though it's frustrating at times, but yeah, I'm trying to do new things this year and get outside my comfort zone, and it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I'm planning to hit up a lot of cons, and First time ever I'm going to be cosplaying this year. I'm not going to tell you what.
Well, no, you can't. No, hold up. You can't just go, I'm going to be cosplaying this year. Not going to tell you what, because you could cosplay as, I don't know, Dwight from The Office and just wear
enough.
regular clothes.
All right.
I will ask for genre. Is it going to be a video game character, an anime character?
I'll give you 2 genres.
Okay.
Pop culture,
Okay.
video games, obviously.
Okay. Pop culture and video games.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to guess past that because you want it to be a surprise, but I have a couple things that popped to mind.
Okay.
So, okay.
I mean,
I'm not going to tell you my guesses.
Fair enough. I mean, I'll tell you like this here. I'll give you one cosplay I'm going to do.
Okay.
For those that are Final Fantasy VII fans,
Ooh.
if you've been playing the remake series,
Okay.
Rude from the Turks. That is my first ever cosplay I'm going to do. And I got told one time on stream that I'll look like Rude. I'm like, you know what? I don't have my ears pierced, although I could easily change that. I mean, I do rock like the beard goatee, which, I mean, he does rock in the game, although his is different from mine. But, I mean, the way I got mine is a lot different. But after being told that, I don't know, just like it got the creative juices flowing, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could do this. So I just kind of like, I was running it by some friends and said, hey, do you think I'll be able to pull this off? And they were like, oh, yeah, 100%. I'm like, all right, cool. I guess I'm going to do that for 2025. That'll be like my first ever cosplay I'm doing at DreamCon, by the way.
Okay.
I will be hitting that up.
That is an interesting choice.
You know
because for my first cosplay, I cosplayed as Rude.
Man, let's go.
So I have some things I can tell you
Okay.
that might be kind of helpful in terms of kind of getting around some of the stuff. I can tell you, like the suit pants you might want to get that'll help out with that.
Yes.
I can tell you that getting your ears pierced for Rude is one thing, but they make really dope clip-ons that mimic his earring style that will work really well.
Okay, yeah.
I will tell you the hardest thing you're going to need to find is going to be the leather gloves because they are very plain gloves.
Yeah.
And those gloves kind of don't, like most leather gloves you're going to find are going to have some stuff to them. So that's one thing. I will tell you that there is a cosplay that I would like to do, but I have to wait a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'm planning on getting a tattoo that actually lines up with the character. So if I cosplay the character, I might as well wait until I get the tattoo because then I won't have to draw these markings in.
Okay.
I am assuming that you are a fan of anime.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this off camera. So production, I need you to tell me if my hands can be seen. Production, can you see my hands right now? I'm assuming they can't because I haven't said anything.
Right.
I'm gonna show you a hint as to who I'm going to cosplay. You ready?
Okay. Okay.
So, I'm looking forward to doing that. My gym regimen has been brutal because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the shirtless version.
Oh.
Which means gotta get in shape.
You trying to get shredded?
So I need to have some stuff done.
So you trying to have all this and this and
yeah, because I'm going to get the tattoos that he has on his arms and his chest.
So you really going to get like his actual?
Initially it was going to be on just this arm.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the tattoos, the part that's here.
Okay.
The part that's here, the part that's here, and then the part that goes over the chest and back. If I'm going to cosplay him and I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to at least get the part that's down here and the part that's up here and the part that goes here because I already have the tattoo here. So I'm going to probably integrate that all together. But if I'm going to get the tattoos, I'm not getting the face tattoos.
That's fair.
I'll draw those in.
I was going to say, I mean, like you could easily,
Yeah, I'm just going to draw those in.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to at least feel like
you want to go all in with this.
Yeah. So,
I respect that.
That's the character I'm going to cosplay.
I mean, like, so with me, with Rude, I'm in the gym too. And right now, I'm somewhat in pain. Like the last 3-4 days, I've been like nonstop, just hammering it in at the gym. You know, like even like while I'm at work, because they got equipment there, I can like easily use it, like sit there and do like some warm up stuff.
Right. Okay.
Go home. You know, get ready for the gym. Go to the gym and you know sit there for like an hour, then come back home.
Right.
Now the last couple of days. Not including today, because I was going to do it 2-a-day, then I remembered, hey, no, sober meetup. Can't do that.
Yeah.
So yesterday and the day before that, it was just nonstop me, like, well, for one, Thursday, did some weightlifting at work. Went home in the evening, pretty much did the exact same thing. Luckily, my gym's open all night, so I'm like, okay, cool. I can stay as long as I need to and work on what I need to.
Right.
So did that, but then yesterday, putting myself through the torture rack, as I'm calling it, and I'm just like, okay, so first half of the day, go in, upper half, I'm talking back, chest, you know, buys, all that stuff. In the evening, I hated myself for this. It was leg day. I had to do it. I had to. So I'm like, look, if I'm going to do this second cosplay, because I'm going to like, not so much go for like a superhero build. That's another hit.
Okay.
But more so trying to just get myself fitted enough to where it's like, the suit is almost hugging me. Not so much, but like it's just almost hugging me.
Okay.
That's another clue right there.
Okay.
So if y'all can't figure out where I'm going with this, I will give you one final hint. And for those that know me, will know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm trying not to give it away because I'm notorious for spoiling crap.
Okay.
But okay. So this is one final hint. This show has been going on since the 90s. But I'm cosplaying the iteration that popped up, I want to say... So technically, this would be the year that iteration started. But this is an ongoing series.
Oh, I know who this is. I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
Okay.
I want to say blue and yellow is going to be kind of a feature color palette.
No.
Okay, so it's not Bishop.
So.
And you said you ain't spoiling it.
You're right.
I'm just eliminating people from it, so it's not Bishop.
Yes. So, although I'm not saying I couldn't do it, because I could do it, but no, that's not even it. I want to somewhere down the line. That might be a thing for me, but right now I'm trying to stick within the realm of like stuff that I watched growing up. That went so far into where it is right now. Like, technically, according to that timeline and that show's iteration, this is the year where they actually show up. Well, not so much show up, but they've been around for quite some time, and they have an academy, so to speak. Another clue for y'all.
You might as well just tell people now, because you've given like 16 clues.
I don't have any choice. Okay, look. For all those that are tapped in to Power Rangers.
Okay.
SPD. Red. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's my second cosplay I'm going to do. Now, my third one, I had this idea. I was going to do Red and possibly Shadow Ranger because I love the way he came into the scene. He literally took out 100 enemies by himself, no help or anything. And he did it in like less than 60 seconds.
Right. Okay.
I'm like, okay, come on, man. Of course, Doggy Kruger being like the MVP and him only showing up when he needs to versus him being around all the time like Omega Ranger was. But no, like, yeah, him and SPD Red. I got to do it, man. Like, I watched SPD. You know, that was like one of my favorite iterations of Power Rangers. And then, ironically enough, I fell off of it after SPD. I hadn't watched it in years, and then for some reason I got drawn back into it. Another fun fact about me, I'm a Kamen Rider fan. My first official Kamen Rider was Kabuto. Then I skipped a couple from the Heisei era. And started watching stuff from the Reiwa era. Started watching Geats. That is my favorite one. For those that don't know who Geats is, he's so pretty much Kamen Rider Geats. Battle Royale of all these different types of Kamen Riders. They're fighting for a chance to get their dreams fulfilled in a way, right? And then it's like every time one wins, they get their wish fulfilled, and they basically reset the entire thing all over again. So that's the whole concept. But then there's more to it than meets the eye. Of course. But that's what I'm going to leave you off right there. I want y'all to go watch it. It's on Amazon, YouTube, Twitch even. They literally have a Twitch channel dedicated to just anything Power Rangers related, Kamen Riders related, Godzilla, Even Jackie Chan old school movies, like they got it all on that place. It's called Tokusatsu. If you heard of it, then cool. But other than that, yeah.
Okay.
But speaking of geeks, that's my other cosplay I want to do. But I'm thinking somewhere down the line I want to do it because that one's got to be special.
I get that. So the one cosplay that I want to do that I showed you.
Yeah.
Just requires me to be physically fit. I don't have to be shredded or gigantic or anything. There is another person that I would love to cosplay.
Okay.
But I would have to I'd have to be big.
Oh.
But getting the build for it wouldn't be as difficult as getting his helmet, because either I get his helmet in such a way that I have to like put it on and take it off and carry it around, or I find someone that can help me make it, and it's a character from a fighting game.
Ooh, okay.
It's a 2D anime fighting game, fairly recent. I can tell you what the fighting game is.
Is it Guilty Gear?
It is. So you know who it is.
Nago.
100%.
I knew it.
First of all, I don't know if I'm capable of becoming that big. Because Nago's...
Yeah, he's shredded.
Like,
he's very shredded.
I get that he's also like 7.5 feet tall. I'm not hitting that one. But he is also... He's past... The first guy is shredded.
Yes.
Nago's a gorilla. Let's just his traps have traps.
Yes.
But then I would want to do the mask, and the mask is so dope.
It is. It reminds me of one of those cyberpunk masks. Like they just man.
Yeah.
I mean, those that know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
If you do not know who we're talking about, Guilty Gear Strive, Nagori Yuki is the character's name.
Yes.
His mask, when he so most fighting games, when you choose your characters, they have a moment where the two characters face off. It's a way to hide the loading screen, because it used to be that you would just have two static screens of like Ryu and Ken, and that's boring. So now they've changed it up to like you'll see them walking to the ring, like in Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
Or in for example, Guilty Gear, they have like a little anime kind of cutscene. So for Nago, he's kind of sitting. He's a giant vampire samurai, a giant cyberpunk vampire samurai. If that feels like word soup, it's Guilty Gear. Trust me, Guilty Gear is word soup.
Yes.
But he stands up and he turns to you and he looks at the character and he says his line. The lines never line up because localization for that game is a little rough.
Yes.
But then he draws his sword, and then he pulls his hand over his face, and this helmet comes out, and it looks like an Oni mask, and it has like horns. I'm not asking for that, because I don't have full cyberpunk Oni mask helmet money.
Right.
If I can't say if I robbed a bank because we're on front page, but if I happen to come across an armored car where both drivers had heart attacks and the back doors were open and I was walking with my best friend, the important life lesson I would teach in that moment is lift with your legs, not your back. But the point is, if I stumbled into supervillain money, then I'd do it.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you stumbled into supervillain money, where would you travel to? Because you mentioned you want to do some traveling and you're going to go to a couple of cons. But I assume that travel could be U.S. based.
Yes.
So I'm asking you, supervillain money, give me the top 3 places you would go to and what time of year.
Okay. I'm going to start with number 3.
Okay, number 3.
I'm mostly going off the cuff, places I've never been to before, right?
Okay.
Because I've traveled to Cali, traveled to Texas.
Okay.
I haven't been to Florida in like 20 years. That is a long time. So I'm thinking probably Miami, Florida, just to go down there, take in the sights, and maybe just indulge myself a little bit, right?
What time of year?
Time of year, that would have to be the summertime. That has to be. I mean, I'm sorry, but like going any other time of the year other than the summer, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Or escaping the cold weather where you're at.
That too.
Okay,
That
so
too.
Miami summer.
Okay. Number 2.
Before you give number 2, I'm going to make this harder.
Oh, okay.
They cannot be in the same continent. So you now cannot go to anywhere in the United States, Canada, or Mexico.
Okay.
Where's number 2?
Number 2 will have to be New Zealand.
Okay.
I've never been.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of Power Ranger series being filmed out there,
Okay.
and some of the scenery out there is amazing, beautiful even.
Okay.
I wanted to go. I mean, I've seen people going out there for Christmas time and stuff like that too, so it's like, okay, yeah, it's cold, but I'm used to it because I'm not really from Washington State. I mean, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it gets really, really cold.
I'm
But
from Detroit, so I know what that cold is like.
Yes. So it's like, I mean, I could deal with it. You know, I can go out there, trench coat, whatever the case may be, you know, a couple layers underneath, and then I'm fine. But yeah, New Zealand would be number 2 on my list. And
Okay.
I would do it around, ironically, wintertime.
Okay. So now, I said I was going to make this more complicated.
Yes.
New Zealand counts as Asia Pacific.
Are you kidding me?
So now you can't go to Australia,
Okay.
New Zealand, or anywhere else that the Pacific touches. So no Japan, no Korea, no China. So now, with APAC being removed and North America being removed,
Okay.
and this is your number 1 because you said that was number 3 and this is number 2. So I'm assuming this is the most important place for you to go. This is why you got to be careful how you number things, because now people from those other 2 places are going to be real upset where they're like, we got beat by this place? I can't believe this. So
Look.
where's number 1?
So number 1 is going to have to be Motherland. I want to go to Africa.
That is a continent, not a country.
Damn it.
Nope, I'm not. Nah, man. I spent too much time in geography class. You
know
got to
what?
give
You're
me
right.
a
You're right.
country.
You're right. You're
a
right.
country at a minimum. I
country at a
would
minimum?
ask you for cities,
Ooh.
but that might be a little rude.
Oh, yeah.
Because you gave me Miami.
Yeah,
but you
you're
didn't
right, you're
specifically
right.
say like Auckland in New Zealand, which
You're
is
right.
probably where you'd want to go.
Yes.
So, where in Africa? You can change your answer if you're now like, well, shit. If I gotta pick a city, I need.
If I'm going to go city-wise, then... You know what? This is cliche, right? So...
No such thing.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. Definitely, like, I mean, Motherland's definitely, like, one of the spots I want to go to because I've always wanted to go where my ancestors were from. That's the reason why I'm saying number 1.
Okay, that's fair.
Now, if we're going outside of, like, that...
I mean, you can still go there. You just got to give me
A city.
country, at least. And I know you're stalling because I can see you thinking about it.
Because I'm like, I can't really sit there and give you any... Well, no, that's not true. I could.
Uh-huh. Come on.
Rome. I want to go... You know what? I want to... Yeah, nah, because that's out there with the rest of them. Nope, can't do it.
I will give you a suggestion.
Okay.
I think in terms of things you could see
Okay.
in Africa, I think Egypt
Yes.
would be pretty dope. Because I think getting to see the pyramids and the Sphinx and getting to see all of that history, I think would be amazing.
Yes.
So that would probably be mine.
Okay.
I will give you, because I put you on the spot,
You
I will
did.
at least give you mine.
Okay.
Number 3 for me would be, and I'm a geography nerd, so I'm going to give you not countries, not cities, but specific locations
Okay.
in said city, in said country.
Now, keep in mind, chat, he's going to give me this stuff.
And
I'm
you're
adding
going
this
to
my list.
research it later,
Yes.
which is fair. Okay, number 3 would be the temple Kiyomizu-dera in Osaka, Japan. I'm a Buddhist. I've been a Buddhist for a very long time, and that is
Yes.
one of the temples I would very much want to go to. So that's that.
Okay.
The next one would be Chichen Itza in Yucatan, Mexico.
Okay.
So that's 2, and that's a completely different area.
Yes.
And then third, and this one's super simple. I'm not going to give you a specific place. I'm going to give you the city. I'm going to Rome because I want to see the Colosseum.
Yeah.
I want to see the Senate. I want to see all of that history because I feel like that would be really, really dope. Now, there is a person who potentially could be watching this stream who is right now yelling at her monitor. And I'm going to say this to keep myself from being in trouble. Stockholm, Sweden would be where I would relocate to if I had supervillain money. But I would not visit Stockholm, Sweden. I would move there.
Okay.
There's a difference. Not going to catch me slipping. I'm not going to get beat up. But we have to cut out.
Okay.
I want you to tell everyone at home where they can find you.
All right, so look, you can find me pretty much on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Pretty much, basically my Twitch name. You'll find me there. Now,
Okay.
IG, it's a little different. Instead of underscores in between those sections of my name, you'll find periods really. So
Okay.
that's where my IG is. But other than that, that's where you'll find me at.
All right. Well, with that being said, chat, you know where to go find him. I hope that you will go do that so that when he goes on those trips and does those cosplays, you'll be able to go and take a look.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me. I tremendously appreciate you. We are going to take an extended break because you're not here. We got to give stuff away. If you were here, you would have a chance to get stuff, but you're not. So now you have to do this extended break while I walk over there and scream at the top of my lungs and give away stuff. So we'll be back. Should be here.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here for our last, but not the very least, final segment of the first Twitch meetup of the year. I'm here, Troll, with another handsome man over here, Apirios.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about, some of the things we got going on next. First of all, I got to ask you, how's this meetup been? First one of the year.
Fantastic.
It's 2025.
It's packed.
For some
I wish
reason,
we could show the camera around. It's packed.
I know. This man is always in charge of the raffles, and I never win. Clearly, it's rigged, but
It's rigged. It's totally rigged. Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that was just given away?
Oh, yeah, today. So we had a couple studio monitors that we gave away from Mackie, a fantastic pair of Bluetooth studio monitors. So if you need to set up something to do your music or your editing or anything like that, they're absolutely amazing. Other than that, that was the main thing. Today was just about getting everybody back together. Kind of like at the end of the year when we do our December meetup, it's really focused on the charity that we're raising money for. The beginning of the year is really just focused on getting everybody back together. We'll ramp up the giveaways and all the other extra stuff that we usually do, but the first one is just getting everybody back into the space. And we've got about 100 people here, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. I didn't expect so many people, especially since the weather's been so up and down, the past couple of days. Like, I wasn't even sure. It was saying it was going to snow last night, and I was like, oh, man.
I got snow. I was expecting half the people to show up.
Oh, my God. And there's so many great people here. What has been your, highlight so far today?
The highlight today, people being able to show up.
Yeah,
the highlight today, honestly, is just seeing everybody's faces again after the end of the year. It's kind of a big deal to get back into the space and know that everybody is just as committed to doing this creation stuff as they were, going into the holidays. Because sometimes when you take a break, you take a really long break, and then to see all these people come back, and we've got people that I haven't seen for a couple months. So
I know.
They must have heard that, things were really starting to ramp back up. So
I saw
seeing
somebody that I hadn't seen in probably like a year or two.
Right.
Just came up today, so it's really cool. So earlier, I heard that Soba is going to be having its 10 years in August of this year. Okay. And so we got some amazing things coming up, and my man Appearance over here is going to talk about some of the things we got coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing that we're going to be doing kind of leading into the 10-year anniversary, so we always do the PAX Day Zero event. That's something that, in the background, it's always being planned. It's kind of like the WrestleMania of what we do. So like everything is leading up to that moment. And right now we're kind of at the point that we have done our preliminary event, our Royal Rumble, and now we are moving into the next thing, which is going to be working with SakuraCon. And so we are actually going to have another booth at SakuraCon like we did last year. We're going to be doing the VTuber meetup experience. You're going to be able to come and do a meet and greet with VTubers, which is a very rare experience because normally you don't get to directly talk one-on-one with them. I'm very successful last year. And then we're also going to kind of be expanding those operations and working with some other groups inside the event that we can't talk about yet and doing some other stuff on that weekend. So something to look forward to.
And when is SakuraCon weekend? So
SakuraCon weekend is going to be April... and then we'll have those dates up at some point.
So I guess you mentioned VTubers, right? And we had a lovely VTuber guest with us. I guess what was the inspiration behind just trying to get more into the VTuber community?
So we saw a lot of people that were kind of coming into the creative space, you know, and there was an opportunity for people that didn't necessarily want to be on the camera, but to be able to kind of have the same community experience in their creating a VTuber. And then we also noticed that there was a lack of ways for them to kind of get exposed beyond just being live or making content. And then we saw an opportunity to kind of team up with some of our local VTubers and present them in a way that hasn't been done before at a lot of these conventions that aren't more specifically focused on anime VTubing specifically. So take Offkai. That's a very, very specifically VTuber-centric thing. SakuraCon isn't heavy into the VTuber side of stuff, but they do anime. It's the big thing. So we were able to talk with some of the people in programming and figure out that there was kind of a gap there and go, how can we help our people in our community that are VTubers and also kind of help grow the image of VTubers at these events and make a space for it. And so it just kind of came naturally by seeing something that wasn't available to everybody, kind of like what happens in a lot of the other aspects of creation, and trying to present something that made sense in a way for people, a lot of people to be able to see it at something like SakuraCon.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I mean, me personally, I've always told people, like, they say VTuber community, I've always known to just be like an avatar. And I've always said, if there's a chance to put my brain in a computer, go ahead, put that flash drive in, I'm gone. Put me in the Matrix, please.
Yes.
Because, and it's really cool that you mentioned, SakuraCon being the first event because, for me, like, I feel like, you usually only see VTubers in certain crowds, in certain communities, and it's nice to just kind of normalize it, Like, one of the things I've always just thought about, especially, like, during the COVID times, just, like, having your avatar and then, like, your VR chat type worlds and just finding new ways to just interact, without actually us just being on camera. And so it's going to be fun to see some of the stuff that develops. And, this may be, like, the first collaboration that actually kickstarts something, even bigger later on down the line. There might be meetups where we're just going to have the crazy amount of VTuber models.
We saw one here today.
Yeah, we saw one here today. So we might see a couple of them coming around. So I guess I got to ask, so who do we call the people holding the iPads? Do they have a term?
I don't know. I've never had to think about that before.
Yeah.
I know
it's kind of
that
like a cosplayer and their handler, that's holding, gear. So, like, who's the...
I think that's it. I think that would be it. That makes the most sense.
That'll be the handler?
Yeah, the handler, yeah.
The handler?
I mean, you're handling the iPad. You're handling, yeah, you go with that. Yeah.
And so I was talking to Alchemist earlier, and he was saying bringing back some of the stuff, like, some of the gaming, trying to highlight more people, I guess. So how does that coincide with the VTuber community, too?
Yeah, so kind of breaking into that a little bit, there are a lot of independent VTubers, right? And that's kind of the angle that we come at with a lot of our gaming stuff, especially when it comes to indie things. We have a really good working relationship with Six, and we've been able to do some fantastic stuff in the past. And so I think there's kind of the same intersection with the independent VTubers as there would be with the independent indie games, where we could probably find a lot of ways for them to get propped up by each other, and kind of do the same thing that we did in the indie game space, and just make this happen. Because like at these events, what can't be seen on camera and isn't currently here at this specific one is we'll have indie game demos. The same kind of thing goes with the VTuber being around here. It's a place for people that can come together that normally wouldn't to try out new things. And so it's really just going to be about experimenting and see what sticks.
And so, with that being said, you guys need to come out, man, because with all these things coming out, if you're in the Pacific Northwest and especially in the Seattle, Washington area, please come down. There's going to be many opportunities to come help out people like Imperials and Alchemists, to come do many of these events. Now, there's two questions I got to ask that I've been asking everybody. Number one, personal goals in the game industry, maybe not personal goals, but goals in the game industry this year in general, whether it's content creation, whether it's,
I have a really big idea that I would love to see come together.
Okay.
I heard there was off-site wrestling matches at TwitchCon this year, and I am very big into wrestling. As a matter of fact, I'm like practicing and training myself to be a wrestler, and so that is something that I would love to see come full circle and be something much larger than just an off-site event, especially since I know like Mega Ran and other people like that might be into it, like maybe a Darian here and there, some other people that might be into wrestling that could possibly bring a vision like that together, because I know I'm not the only one. And so I would love to see something large at like a TwitchCon or something like that involving wrestling. But also the pet project that we're working on all the time is how do we make Twitch Tac-Toe bigger? do we take that to a stage somewhere?
Ooh,
Do we do something
I
live
like
with that?
Main stage Twitch.
Those would be
main
the big
stage.
things that we're thinking
Let's do
about.
that.
No plans right now, but it's always something that we're working on in the background. How do we make these things bigger and more appealing and make them for a wider audience while kind of still retaining the, indie scene that we grew up in and getting everybody where they are now?
Hell yeah. I like that, especially when it comes to wrestling. See, I watch Defy Wrestling a lot.
You like Defy?
I love Defy.
I love
you
Defy.
see, Ricky Starks
Oh,
just got the title from Ketsa. You know what I mean? I'm big into wrestling. I'm actually going to SmackDown in DC and NXT Vengeance next week. So I'll be there. I can't make Mania this year.
This is going to turn a wrestling show.
I made the last three. And I guess another thing, with the whole Black Brilliance program and Black History Month, I just want to say, I guess, have there been any creators you've discovered this month or last year, or maybe someone you watched for a while that you want to highlight?
Oh, I mean, off the top of my head, I'm going to say AlchemistJoker.
Okay.
Specifically because, I got an opportunity to actually see him in a position that I don't think a lot of other people would, and the reason that I'm picking him specifically in my mind is because it isn't necessarily a watching of the content that I was looking at, it was how they were producing something, right? And I think looking beyond content and seeing how something is brought together is a very appealing thing to me specifically, especially with what I do here. And when we got to go down to the community summit, the very first ever Twitch community summit, Twitch flew us down and we got to go to the headquarters and talk to everybody there and actually learn from the inside what's happening so we have a better idea. I got to see him operate and kind of build his rapport in there. And so it's something wonderful to see somebody be able to take an opportunity like hosting and turn it into something where they are talking to the main players in the space.
So you got to see him kind of take the skills that he'd been practicing for a while, and you got to see him in his own space, outside of this, and you got to say, oh, he's really got these skills. He's really got his thing going.
But if I had to pick somebody else hype outside my inner circle, it would probably be Big Cheese.
Oh, Big Cheese. My man, Big Cheese. Queso. My guy. I love Big Cheese. That's my dude. He definitely was the first person I watched on Justin TV.
Yeah.
I was watching him on YouTube when he was doing the skits and parodies.
Well, he's with the group
time.
too. Rare Grub is great. They're all really good people over there.
And I was in Nigeria, and he was when I had a little bit of data, he would be the person I would watch. So and he's a good friend of mine, and I love that man. Yeah.
Awesome.
Shout out to Big Cheese, Twitch ambassador. Definitely, if you guys are not watching Big Cheese, you are not watching the right people on the platform. Okay, there's a lot of great people, but Big Cheese, when it comes to energy, when it comes to hype, when it comes to production value, you never know what to expect when you go
how
to
to promote yourself.
How to promote
if you
yourself.
want to learn how to promote yourself, how to put a deck together.
Yep, how to put a deck together. If you want to
100%.
promote something, if you want to be fun, you want to think on the fly. Whew.
Speaking of thinking on the fly, things that we are doing. Our broadcaster roundtables are coming back. Our broadcaster U stuff is coming back. Improv is something that we are also starting to bring back as well. So all of the things that we've been talking about reactivating and bringing the value back to the community over the last couple of years, we're finally at that point, and I feel comfortable saying that I feel like over this next year, people will really see the value in what we've been doing, and we have brought a lot of our old programs back that people have been asking for.
So that brings me, to have two more questions. So number one is, what are the type of things or type of opportunities that are going to be opening up with all these new things? You just mentioned Broadcaster U, Broadcaster Roundtable. What are some of the things that will be opening up? Because, we've been saying, hey, just speak up, but what if people don't really know, what they can end up doing or contributing to?
Well, I mean, honestly, pitch is your strength. I mean, that's what I always think. I know it seems like it's a big deal to talk to somebody about, oh, I might be able to do production, or oh, I might be able to do this. If you think you can do it, you should just approach us. We're very approachable. I think that's one of the things. There's a misconception that Twitch streamers are not as approachable, especially community people. But honestly, just talk to us with your ideas. We try to build those out. But if there are opportunities, we're bringing back the hosting track, where basically we're going to be doing the hosting and interviewing thing live, and people are going to be able to learn here. We're going to be finding people to do broadcaster roundtables that we don't have people for. So if we wanted to explore topics that we don't necessarily have people in our community that are familiar with, we're going to be looking for people there as well. So there are tons of opportunities to get involved that aren't necessarily just volunteering to set stuff up or volunteering to run things in the background. There are other opportunities that you can get involved with as well.
So if there's skill you wanted to learn, speak up.
Yep.
And I gotta ask. So I remember one time Soba had a booth at a convention. I forgot. Are there any plans for any more outside presence outside of like these kind of meetups, like IRL?
Yeah. So I would say besides us being at SakuraCon again, I would expect to see us have an event at PAX.
Okay.
We do a pretty good job of talking with people there and trying to set something up. But also, I would expect to see something smaller at things like Renton City Retro or with Six. So.
Yeah. And so, before we end this, I've been telling everybody, if you have a message to give to the audience, whether it's motivational, whether it's inspirational, whether it's instructional, whether it's, okay, maybe not political, but give a message to the audience, that are watching, and yeah.
Just never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Keep learning.
That. I learned that. Except from ChatGPT. All right? I know it's useful. Okay.
That's not learning, though.
People are becoming
That's
too reliant on ChatGPT. But thank you again, Imperials. It's nice to see you again.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year to everybody. All right. We're going to be back here sometime in April, hopefully. Stay tuned. Join the Discord. Follow us on all the social channels. Follow this man, Imperials. Tell the people where to find you.
You can find me at Imperials Unlimited. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube. Look me up.
And you can find me on TrollGamingLive on everything and anything. Except on Minecraft. I don't have a Minecraft account, okay? But it was nice seeing you guys all again. Thank you guys for watching, and we are out.